I'm lying in bed because I'm rotten with some kind of cold or flu, and no, it's not COVID. Although I do have quite a high temperature. I feel all prickly and yeah, fever in the evening, fever all through the night, but not in a good way. Seedy. But anyway, I really seedy. But anyway, I've had a very distressing night and day because Socks was very ill during the night, peeing huge volumes, so much that at 3 a.m. I actually had to take out the cat litter box that he was using and bring in the spare one and put clean litter in that, and he still excuse me, he still did quite a bit in that during the morning. And then I hesitated because I dread going to vets because I usually end up euthanizing my animals, and I was just, distraught. But then I thought I better do it because I have a duty of care to make sure he's looked after, and he just seemed to be really, struggling and weak and not feeling too great. So I messaged my friend Sally and I told her what was happening because we shared the pussycat. And then I got in the car and I drove off to the vet, which was the Vets in Ham Road on the corner of Newnham and Ham Road, Mount Gravatt vet. And I haven't been there in many years, but they were actually very lovely people in there. They were very warm and friendly and made eye contact and were kind. And I was just, look at me, I'm just a wreck. I'm just a complete wreck because I, was so worried about my beautiful cat. But an Earth Angel bailed us out and paid for his vet bill, and that was wonderful. And so the only thing I'm worried about is if I had to get a pee sample tonight, and if he's got diabetes mellitus, we won't be able to afford the $1,000 shots for insulin, so we'll have to put him down anyway. So then I'm a bit distraught about that because it's like all that money my friend spent to pay for all the tests, and then it might be, gone, wasted money. Oh, but anyway, so I came home, and then there were dramas because I couldn't get him to pee in his little box where I had they gave me these little tiny beads for him to pee on, but he didn't like them because he's very fussy about how he pees and where he pees. He'd rather pee on my cushions than on cat litter he doesn't like, So anyway, I was worrying about that. But he was just so shaky on his legs and not feeling very well. I thought I'll just leave him alone. He'll pee when he's goddamn ready. But anyway, at 6 o'clock, the vet rang me and said, look, has he peed yet? And I said, no. And honestly, the amounts he peed throughout the night and the last few days, I'm surprised that he's dried up now because it's he was gushing and flooding so much urine for a cat. I mean, he's a big cat, but it was a shitload of urine. So he said to me, put his cat cage in the bathroom with a towel and put the cat litter tray with the special testing beads, for him to pee into in there, and then put his food and just leave him in there and make sure he can't wander around the house and do sneaky pees everywhere else. And I thought, yes, that's common sense. That's completely sensible. I don't know why I didn't think about it, beforehand. But Socks did not seem to want to pee, from the time I got him home at 3 till this was 6 o'clock, so I was, freaking out. Because the idea was he was going to pee when I got him home, and then I was going to rush that sample straight back, but couldn't do that. So, about, 6:45, I hear a thump of him jumping in the cat litter and this loud stream, and I was like, oh, yay. So I get my glove on and I get the little test tube and I gather it up and I squirt it into the tube, and I was like, oh man, the things we do for our cats, but it's okay. That's no big deal. I've had to do worse for him, really. So anyway, I put it in the fridge because the vets were closed now anyway, and I'll have to set my alarm for early in the morning and get up and go be there by 8 and give them the pee sample. Oh my God. Oh, you've got no idea how exhausted I am. Only because, like, I'm not well as well. But anyway, it's okay. Has to be done. And, you know, he is a lovely cat, and I am very fond of him, so it's the least I can do. So there's that. So, but the other weird thing that happened today was when I was driving to the vet, I keep running into this old flame of mine, or I call him an ex-lover, but we weren't really partners or anything. We were just like casual. I don't even know how to describe it because it just ended up being all so awful. But anyway, I did speak to him like on the 1st of July. We actually had a lovely chat. He even acknowledged that. He said, oh, you know, it was lovely. Thanks for the lovely chat. And then would you believe it, driving off to take my cat to the vet, feeling really distraught and a bit frazzled, I see my ex-friend, bonk, casual part, I don't know what you want to call him, old flame. I saw him like at the Creek Road intersection, and I'm just like staring because like lately I keep running into him at least on average once a month, and it's always at Crossroads. And, you know, if you know about voodoo, Papa Legbar is the guardian of Crossroads. So it's like, I'm thinking, what is the hidden meaning behind this? But there probably isn't one. He just happens to be driving around at the same time I am, and we just happen to meet at these crossroads. So it's kind of odd. Anyway, I wasn't upset for seeing him because we'd had a nice chat the other day, and he went his way, turned up to go up to Carindale, and I went off to the vet feeling really quite strung out. So yes, so there was that. And the vet had a trainee vet, a lovely young Indian woman, and she was just so, because we all had to wear masks, and I'm coughing and sneezing behind my mask, so they immediately freaked that I had COVID, and I was like, no, I haven't had any exposure, I haven't been near any of the hot spots, I haven't been near any of the low-risk things, I'm always at home except when I get my groceries. I said, so I don't think I've got it. And the vet was like, you should get tested. And I said, look, I'm not going to be an arsehole and go around super spreading everywhere. If I thought I had it and had exposure to it, like if I was on one of those, you know, hot spots, I would definitely go and get tested. But I said, I have a very bad chest, and I caught a chill the other day and I had a sore throat, and immediately it went to my chest, so I knew it was going to happen. I said, but it does sound awful and looks bad, you know. Everyone just assumes you've got COVID and you're dying, you know. Anyway, the young vet in training I actually turned to her, I said, you're lovely. I said, your eyes, I said, you make eye contact and you've just got so much empathy and you're just so engaging. I said, you're a lovely, lovely vet and woman, and I want you to know that. I had to say it. It's important that I had to say it. And then the male vet, who was an Englishman, he was very nice too. He goes, oh, people think that I've got Asperger's or autism because I don't make eye contact. And I was like, yes, you do. You made eye contact with me. And I said, I didn't praise you up about it, but I said, you did make eye contact. I said, you're making eye contact now. And I said, no. I said, you know, often very brilliant people who are clever and, you know, very, very gifted. People assume that they're a bit autistic, but they're just wrapped up in their own little world. And some people are a bit autistic but as well. But I said, no, I don't think you are. Anyway, it was very nice. I got terribly excited. And then he said to me, oh, you know, he said, you should take the COVID thing. If you get worse, he said, go to the hospital. He said, I was in England last year and half my clients died. He said, like, it really is serious. So I looked at him and I said, look, I have nearly died since early childhood, dozens of times. And I said, and I'm not going to be stupid and deliberately go out to a COVID hotspot and jump around waving my arms and try and get it. Although tempting thought if you were suicidal, it'd be an awful thing to do though. But I said, on the other hand, when my number's up, my number's up. Like, I'm not going to live in fear. I said, you know, our time comes to all of us eventually. I said, but having said that, I'm trying to avoid getting the COVID because with my respiratory issues, it would be a really horrific death. So there is that. And he just looked at me, and I was like already febrile and feeling like shit and crying about socks. And, you know, my friend was on the phone. She was like, don't cry, Tanya. Like, I've got your back. And she's just so lovely, you know. It's like a miracle. But now I'm still worried about how we're going to keep that little bugger alive, because 13 or 12 or 13 is quite old for a cat, you know. So there is that. Well, we'll face that another day. We've got through today, and tomorrow is another day, my darlings. Like little orphan Annie. Bring out the tiny violin. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow is another day. Well, that's morbid, isn't it? But that used to get me through, you know, when I was really frickin' off my head and depressed. It's amazing how many tomorrows kept coming that I never expected to see 56 years later. Weird. So anyway, so I've had a really, kind of spiritual day with running into the old flame, not in person, but on the road, on the crossroads again. Last time I saw him, it was at the crossroads at Tarragindi, and honestly, an energy did jump into my car that day. It was like washed over me like a warm air curtain, and it totally freaked me out, because I was like, is he doing that, or is it like my angels doing that to protect me, or what's going on? But anyway, I thought, well, I'll just keep driving, drive to Drumming, which was where I was going, and I thought, so what if I see him on the road and I'm allowed to drive around and go to Drumming and live my life, you know? So off I went and had a really lovely day, and actually made some friends with some lovely young Israeli girls, Moroccan Israeli girls, and their Australian mummy, and yeah, so that was a lovely day that day. So just as well, I don't let men put me off, you know, although sometimes I do. I did with that Brian Mannix thing, because that was just foul. But anyway, I'm doing okay, people, apart from my cat being seriously ill, and, you know, my usual health issues, and the constant battling, trying to figure out how I'm going to, like, get enough money to get by on, because I'm just so sick of struggling on the pension. But apart from all those issues, I'm doing really, really well. Look, I'm making these mad videos and stalking you via the internet. Oh, that looks so creepy. I'm not actually a very attractive woman, am I? Without makeup and without my regalia. You know what was cute, though? When I did speak to the old flame, and I said to him, oh, you know, I went out in my full regalia on Saturday night, and I said I was like on a mission. I was like, I had to go, and there was nothing that could stop me. I said, because I hadn't been out for 5 months. And he's like, 5 months? You haven't been out for 5 months? I was like, no, 5 months. I couldn't believe it. And then he was like, wow. And then I said, yeah, I was in my full regalia. And he went, yeah. So I just laughed, you know. He's just winding me up, but he's not serious. If he was really interested, he'd be here with me in my bed, wouldn't he? Like, you know, any red-blooded man that's, you know, passionate and in love with you and interested. I don't want men in my bed who are just, you know, sycophantic fucking flopper dick to me users like I've had in the past, because that's just revolting too. You know, I'd rather lie in my beautiful bed and just be surrounded by the Buddha energies, which are for healing. By all the gods, they have healed me. They have healed me. I've done a lot of healing in the last couple of years since I got those. Was it 2 years or 1 year? 1.5. They've stopped sending me invitations to come to the temple. I don't know. I must have offended them with my expensive, out there, loud personality. It probably wasn't very Buddhist of me, but I didn't mean any, to insult anyone, or I wasn't nasty to anyone. I don't think I was. I think the last time I was very sick. I was sicker than I am now, and I think they were frightened that I had COVID and I was going to super spread them. So I didn't get invitations anymore, and quite frankly, I quite enjoyed the little Tara pujas. You know, clean out all the fucking negative entities, and, you know, have the goddess Tara just, you know, unfurl on her lotus and purify my body, mind and spirit and open me up to all potentialities. Oh, you know what? I don't need to go to the puja. I've just done it for myself right now. Did you see what I did? Did you see what I did? Yeah, I don't need religions, organisations or cults or temples or clubs that would have me as a member. But, you know, I am a bit disappointed because I did like to go there. It was once a month we had this Tara puja, and you got given, like, you know, a piece of cake and some oranges and like little gifts from the Buddha, which I thought was lovely. And, you know, you gave a donation in return, of course, you know, but it's still lovely. I still thought it was lovely. So anyway, there is that. I've been cast out of that freaking temple for no reason that I can think of. Well, part of it was it shut down with COVID last year, but surely they'd be up and running again. I might look into it. I might just turn up one day and say, "Oi, remember me? Remember me, the Jewish witch who likes to turn up to pujas?" Like, come on. The multiverse is bigger than all of that. I said a funny thing to the vet, the two vets, the vet and the trainee vet today. I said, "I'm very distressed." And they said, "Oh, why?" And I said, "Well, I'm an actual witch." And I said, "My bloody cats are all dying very young by about 12 or 14 or 15 at the latest." I said, "And it's shameful." I said, "Witches' cats are supposed to live till nearly 20. I said, "And mine are all popping their clogs left, right and centre when, like, they're only really, you know, relatively young." And he said, "No." He said, "A cat is considered geriatric over the age of 7. He said, "So the fact that Socks is 12 or 13, he said, that's like being 100 in human terms." He said, "You actually have done a really good job keeping him alive and looking after him." And I thought, oh, what a lovely man. Also for not making nasty comments about me outing myself as a Jewish witch. Sometimes people get vicious, you know. So, but anyway, there you go. So I'm not such a bad witchy poo after all, my purple jacket and my magical t-shirt, because, you know, we fought the good fight to keep my boy alive another day. Oh, dear goddess. But anyway, I've decided, because I decided some time ago actually when Penny died, when they all die one by one, I'm not replacing the pets. Like, I might get, it's going to be hard not having cats in the house though, because I've always had cats. But, you know, like, eventually when Bobo dies, I might get another dog or something, but it's just too upsetting when they go. You know, you've got them for only like such a short window period of time, and then they have these awful, like, uncomfortable deaths, and it's just traumatizing. So maybe I won't get any more pets. Maybe I'll just leave it at that. But then, you know, famous last words. Anyway, enough blarney. It's time I had a rest and stopped talking. Took my puffer, maybe had a drink of something. I feel a bit... I know what would be nice right now. Chocolate. But yes, I feel a bit... You know when you have a fever and your mouth goes all cotton woolly and your nose is all cotton woolly and your skin is all prickly? It's like really unpleasant. Maybe I should have a really scathing hot bath. I don't know if I can be bothered though. Alright. Lila Tov, good evening, good night. Sleep well, beautiful people. For those of you who are just beginning your day, have a beautiful day in the space-time continuum. And signing out from Sacred Space, Tanya Aarons at Titania's Realm, living the psychedelic dream. Bye for now.